So here we are at Bradford, using the fantastic opportunity to speak to Lee Fairhurst. Lee, thank you for sitting down in these really horrible surroundings we've seemed to have found ourselves in.
Yeah, no, it probably takes you back to King's Lynn, the first interview. Yeah.
It does, it does. It's very lovely in here. So we spoke outside earlier, but we're going to do a bit more of a chat with you. 2020, you raced quite a few times throughout the season in what was very short. Good season, enjoy it?
Yeah, well, my tarmac and shale cars were ready to go as they are now, but I just made a decision because we was unsure on the year, and William coming along and moving house possibly and stuff like that. We decided just to park our cars up and be ready for 2021 more so than anything. But on the other side of that, Wesley Goodwin kindly offered his cars to race for the points towards the Chase series, so I did that and missed a few meetings. I'm not sure how many, I can't remember, but we ended up on the second row for the Chase final, which we'll be looking forward to. So we'll come to the Chase final in a second. So before we get to 2021, has it been a busy winter for you, other than making William great? Have you had a busy winter? Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's been difficult for everyone with lockdown and COVID, and so I missed a bit of time off work due to that, and obviously spending more time with William. So obviously workshop took a bit of a back burner, but I think getting round to catching up a bit now, and things we've got in, we'll hopefully be ready for the start of the season.
Yeah.
And all systems go.
There's been a running theme throughout the drivers I've spoken to in 21 around everybody's excited to come back, but there's loads of new drivers coming to the sport, there's loads of people having new cars built and refurbished. Are you kind of feeling the benefit of that?
Yeah, everyone's eager to get back racing with the time off, and although we raced last year, it wasn't a complete year with our normal agenda, so I think everyone's keen to race again this year and taking that step to get the cars ready and prepped for, and hopefully we'll see a big car turnouts come the start of the year wherever we may race at.
Yeah. So looking ahead to 2021, you've got a shale and tarmac car. Are they kind of last year's, like you say, just ready to go refurbished?
Shale car's been tidied up and painted. Tarmac car's been tidied up as well, but not been painted much. A few little touches here and there, but yeah, just a few improvements on the cars, and engine been refreshed on one of them. So yeah, we'll be all good to go and ready for the start of the season, hopefully. Yeah. We spoke to Geoff Gibson a few weeks ago, and he said obviously his car's at yours, and you've done some work to it, and then you'll be supporting him in 21. Is that kind of something a bit different for you in the coming season, kind of actively helping another driver? Yeah, I've done bits for him in the past, bits and bats, but obviously he's took the decision obviously to give us the car, and we're getting it race ready at present, and then come the season obviously we'll just help him in between the meetings, and if they want us doing any work like that, and obviously help with the setup of the car is the main thing, because obviously the setup of the car is important for Geoff. Geoff's a very good driver and is capable, but I think he'll admit himself I don't think he's capable of setting the car up. So yeah, we'll just put him in the right direction with that and give him what we can give him, and hopefully he'll do well. Yeah,
he did reference that in his interview. We talked about tarmac racing. He was like, I just couldn't get my head around what I was doing with the car, and so absolutely your help, I'm sure, will be good for him.
Shales, if you've got a problem on shale with the setup, I think if you're a good driver you can drive around it a little bit and get the benefit of it like that, but tarmac you've got to have the car right to show your speed basically. So like I said, Geoff's a very capable driver, and I'm sure if we get the car near enough for him, he'll do very well.
Yeah, brilliant. So 2021, 41 fixtures are on the list, predominantly shale. Have you looked at the fixture list? Are you excited about what's ahead?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we're hoping we can get more and more crowd there as the season goes on, and etc. But we're looking at the fixtures, we're looking at the big championships as the main ones to attend, and we'll do as much as we can in between and around that. So yeah, we'll be certainly there for the big ones, definitely.
Yeah. So when you get the fixture list, can you kind of go down and go, right, there's 30 meetings, 25 meetings, do you aim at what you want to do, or is it just kind of you have to take it as it comes as the season progresses?
Yeah, you aim at the big ones obviously, but everything in between that we try and support and do as much as we can for the promoters who are obviously helping us, and obviously we'll just do as much as we can that way, and obviously we don't really plan we just take it week on week, because you never know what's around the corner with stock car racing, and you might have problems and spend a bit more money one weekend than the other, so you've got to try and balance it in between.
So we're here at Bradford today, and it is an incredible facility. It's got to be a huge boost for the sport having them back here in what's going to be 6 weeks' time. Yeah,
it's going to be massive. It's really what the sport needed. I think you can just visualise a big crowd here, and you know it's certainly going to be give a good boost to the sport in the north, and hopefully it's nice to have a venue worthy of a world final up here. And hopefully we can support it as much as we can. Likewise, Sheffield, we still need to support Sheffield, and that's obviously support that they work off each other sort of thing, so there's no point getting big turnouts here and only getting 20-30 cars there, so we need to try and do as much as we can in other areas as well.
Yeah, but if it kind of builds that northern base, you know, you are going to get hopefully people travelling to Sheffield and Bradford, interchanging between the two, and it needs to work.
It's important, because obviously we've lost Stoke and Bellevue as well, so that's going to be big losses, but any tracks to lose is going to be big, but obviously it's nice to see a track coming back, and what a better track to come back. You know, all your interviews, I think, probably 80% of the people, when you ask that question if they'd like to see a track come back, I'm sure 80% of drivers said Bradford, so it's going to be it's a dream come true, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely is. And talking of championships, talking of Bradford, one of the first one up for grabs is the Chase Series Final, which is going to be held at the first meeting here in May. Starting on the second row, do you think that's kind of a good place to be?
I think so, yeah. I don't really know. It's going to be the first race on here, and nobody really knows what to expect, so it's going to be whoever adapts to the track the quickest and gets around the first few corners, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. A good grid of cars lined up. Russell Cooper will be pushing hard on the fifth row inside, no doubt. Some good drivers up the front, so hopefully we're having a good race.
See, I reckon there's going to be a few drivers trying to get like sneaky entrances into Bradford just to kind of do a bit of, you know, a bit of sussing things out, don't you reckon?
Yeah, I think there might be sussing gear ratios out, etc. So luckily I've got all my old setups from when my dad raced here, so I can use them, no doubt.
You've obviously been out on the track today for a photo shoot and stuff. Were you tempted to have a bit of a drive round, or was it like...
It was tempting, you know. I was coming round turn 2, is it, and then coming up to pit gate, and he said, oh, nice and steady on the track, and it's not quite laid yet, the top layer, and you know, I just wanted to go into turns 3 and 4 and give it some, but I had to go up the hill, didn't I? So yeah, I'll be looking forward to coming out that pit gate in that first meeting and lining up for that NHS series. Yeah,
it's going to be an incredible atmosphere and an incredible race to start Bradford's return to Formula Ones. Lee, thank you very much for taking time out of your afternoon. Good luck for 2021. And Steve's told us we've got a BSCDA TV kind of studio thing in the corner of this beautiful building, so hopefully see you in there a few times.
It's right next to the bar as well, so if we win the Grand National, we'll be in there for a bit.
Yeah, I think Sophie's going to put a tab behind it or something, she said. So.
That's nice of her.
Yeah, I know, I thought so. Yeah. Along with my nice little studio separately, and so, yeah, it's all good.
Perfect.
Lee, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye. So here at Bradford with ex-Formula 1 racer 218 Derek Fairhurst. Derek, thank you very much for sitting down and having a little chat with us today.
No problem.
So we're here at Bradford because we are seeing the first kind of glimpses of a stock car track for Formula 1s. Did you ever think it would be back?
Not really. I think anybody that's raced here obviously always hoped that it would be back, and obviously the facility's always been here. But when we came to I think it was Chris Bin's birthday party, and we saw this facility they got here, we thought there's a possibility that you could still race here, but thought it might just be out of our league.
Yeah.
So every credit to everybody for trying to get it back together and succeeding, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Bradford does hold a bit of a special place for you, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, really, because basically when I first started racing, there was quite a few tracks to race at: White City, Manchester Bellevue, Rochdale, Blackburn. So they're all very close to me, and slowly they all demised or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously Bradford then became one of the local tracks for me. If you say it's local, it's only 50 minutes for me.
Yeah.
And I only raced shale then, I never raced tarmac. Well, I did race tarmac here actually when it was tarmac, but we only had one car that we didn't alter the setup too much really. So yeah, I had reasonable success around here. It was quite good actually.
Something about world finals?
No,
can't do that.
No, don't mention world finals.
But you did. You had some great results in world finals.
Yeah,
here,
I had a couple of good runs with some cars around here.
Yeah.
Like, and you could really. When the cars weren't so far apart, you could actually race around here pretty competitive on a low budget.
Yeah. So I've been on the track earlier on today, and I think I was a bit surprised at how banked the bends were. Is that very different? Does it give you a different driving style to racing at, say, another shale track like Northampton or somewhere like that? Obviously,
yeah, you will be setting the car slightly different for the banking that's here and everything like that. It is quite good. It depends on the surface you've got down. It depends how we don't know how grip it's going to be until it starts racing proper. There might be a few problems at the beginning, with the track, but I'm pretty sure they're lining them out. But yeah, the track looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So there was a debate, I guess Steve had right at the very beginning. Does he keep it tarmac, or which was already down there, or does he make it shale? Do you think he's made the right decision?
I think he has, yeah, because obviously with the tyres that we're running these days, and the engines that they're running, the speeds around here would be quite pretty vast.
Yeah.
And I think it would. Some of the lower drivers that haven't got the budgets would probably shy away from coming here because of the speed.
Yeah.
Whereas keeping it shale, I think you're going to get a good turnout of cars here. Everybody's going to love it. You get your whites and your yellows from the beginning, and if you've no stoppages, they're going to be very hard to catch.
So in terms of, obviously you've raced here, Lee has yet to race here. Is it very similar, do you think, from when you raced to when with Lee racing, or is it going to be completely different?
I think the cars are a lot different now. Some cars are a lot farther apart than these, but to be honest, I think car-wise and driver-wise, it's going to be a fantastic experience for them. Anybody that's not raced here, they're going to love it. They're going to absolutely love it. And the spectators themselves, you can see from nearly everywhere that you're on this track, you've got a fantastic view, and it's going to be awesome to hear these cars going around here again. Yeah,
it did make a bit of a. It's a bit of a big deal when Lee was coming down to go on the track, and it was like, that's just one stock car.
You can just imagine if there's a massive lineup of the finals here. It's going to be superb.
Yeah,
it's going to be brilliant. Hers will stand on the back of your head.
Absolutely. We have lost a couple of tracks, unfortunately, recently. Do you think how important is Bradford for the sport?
Bradford is a massive boost to the sport because obviously, with what was happening last year, everybody's been depressed and everything like that over the close season, not seeing any racing, and for this to get up and running to this stage now, so that when we start racing, we're going to be racing here.
Yeah.
Is a fantastic boost to the sport. I think it's going to get a lot of drivers coming back to the sport.
Yeah.
I think the car turnout here, I think you're going to be booking in as soon as you can, because I think if you get so many cars, they end up might turning cars away.
Yeah. Which is kind of unheard of, isn't it, in modern day stock car racing, where you're having to sort of prevent bookings.
Yeah, definitely, because the cost of petrol these days, the cost of diesel, obviously to try and get to the tracks these days with Formula Ones is quite expensive. Yeah. And then obviously some of the stuff that we run now is quite expensive. So yeah, it's going to be a massive boost.
Yeah. Derek, thank you so much for that. Great to talk to you, and great to be here at Bradford today.
No problem. I'd just like to say before we go, hello to Mark Sargent.
Is he your friend?
I'm looking forward to seeing him at the first meeting. I'm going to be here with him.
Good.
He's a cracking lad.
Jordan's going to edit that bit out, but don't worry.
Yeah.
It's fine. Cheers, Derek. Thank you.
No problem.